Rise. Judge Vanderby Court is now in session. Judge, this is case number JVB 1006, Shaw versus Shaw.
Thank you.
Welcome.
You all may be seated. Okay. Amelia Shaw, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
So our daughter has been living with me for 2 years. We're separated, and she's currently not paying any child support. And I thought maybe she would grow up, but I guess it's time to force her hand. So.
Okay. Any reason why you're not?
Things are about to heat up in court. A father who has had full custody of his child for 2 years has finally had enough. He's taking action because the mother hasn't paid a single cent in child support. The issue? She's making money, but spending it all on herself instead of her child. The judge wastes no time asking why she hasn't contributed, and her excuse? The father earns more than she does. But here's the kicker. She's dropping $2,000 a month on music festivals while claiming she's too broke to support her own kid. That argument isn't holding up well, and the judge is already tearing it apart. This case isn't just about custody. It's about responsibility, priorities, and the realities of parenting. The mother thought she could dodge her financial duties, but today, the law is holding her accountable. Let's see how this unfolds.
Is that your only reason? Mm-hmm. You know it doesn't really work like that, right?
Well, I spend a lot of time, I'm trying to build my career. I'm a hairstylist.
Okay.
So
congratulations.
Thank you.
Welcome.
So I travel a lot. I don't have a lot of extra money.
When she says she travels a lot, she's at music festivals like every other weekend.
Every other weekend is a bit excessive.
It's networking. I'm trying to do hair for bands.
Let me ask you a question. How much are these trips costing you every other weekend?
Probably close to $1,000.
Close to $1,000, and you're going twice a month?
Yeah, sometimes.
You're spending $2,000 a month to go to music festivals when you could be paying child support. So that means you can afford to pay child support, right?
Well,
yeah. That means that, right?
I mean, yeah, probably.
So what's the reason that you're not paying? Because it can't be that she makes more money when you obviously have the finances to do it.
Well,
The father isn't holding back. For 2 years, he's been the sole provider, covering every expense without a penny of help. At first, he hoped she'd step up on her own, but that never happened. Now, he's done waiting and is officially demanding child support. His frustration is more than justified. While she insists she's struggling, the truth tells a different story. She's jetting off to music festivals twice a month, spending thousands while claiming she can't afford to support her own child. That's not financial hardship, that's a choice. And both the father and the judge see right through it. Then comes the biggest red flag. She never even tried to contribute. No school fees, no medical bills, no daily expenses, nothing. This isn't just about money. It's about neglecting responsibility. And today, the judge is making sure she won't be able to dodge it any longer.
when we talked about having a kid, she was sort of more enthusiastic about it than I was. If
I'm the biological mother.
I'm trying to
also
figure out,
biologically related.
but I'm trying to figure out, what does that have to do with anything?
Well, it's kind of more on her, if you think.
Are you kidding me?
Well,
Because I gave birth to
I don't even understand what's going on right now. What do you mean that it's kind of more on her? It's your child too.
she wanted it more.
But you wanted it too, right?
Yeah, you were on board with this.
I was.
So you're going to still be on board with paying child support then? Because it's still your child. You don't get to pick and choose when you want to be a parent. It doesn't work like that. If you can spend $2,000 a month to go to music festivals, you can definitely pay her child support. And if you're out of town every other weekend, how are you seeing that child as much as you proclaim?
She doesn't.
That doesn't make sense.
I FaceTime.
She's
Face-
drunk when she FaceTimes. Half the time I can't hand the phone over.
Indulge from time to time. but
Right,
it's not
and
that
I am not buying anything that you're over there talking about. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to get straight into the child support, and you are going to pay, okay? And I know you have the money, because according to your tax returns here, you make about $800 a week.
Now it's her turn to speak, but her defense isn't holding up. She argues that she's still building her career as a hairstylist and just doesn't have the extra money for child support. The issue? Her spending habits tell a completely different story. The judge isn't buying it. If she can afford luxury trips twice a month, she can afford to support her child. But then, she drops the most jaw-dropping statement yet. She suggests that the child is more the father's responsibility because he wanted it more. For a moment, the courtroom falls silent. The judge's face says it all. That's not how parenting works. Raising a child isn't a hobby where one parent can just opt out. If she helped bring this child into the world, she's legally and financially responsible, period. Then, the judge lays it out in black and white. So, based on your own words, you're making about $3,200 a month, but spending $2,000 of it on travel. That alone proves you can afford child support, and we haven't even run the official calculations yet.
I have your gross at about $3,200 a month. So you can afford to pay child support because you're spending $2,000 of that to go out of town, and that's based on what you said. That's not based on any calculation yet. Okay? All right? How many children?
Just one.
Just one child? Okay. So I have your net at $2,474.58. Who pays health insurance?
We have Medicaid.
Medicaid? Okay. So Medicaid has to be reimbursed to the state because that is a state benefit. So you are the one who is going to reimburse that money to the state. So what I have to do is take 9% of your gross, and that'll give me the health insurance amount that you'll reimburse to Medicaid. Comes out to $288. So when you add that to your monthly child support obligation of $494.92, that gets $782.92.
A month?
Yeah. You spend $2,000 a month, right? Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So you can afford it.
I think one music festival a month is enough.
And maybe you should take your daughter with you to the music festival.
I don't think so.
No?
No.
Oh.
I don't trust that.
Oh. Well, you know, now that she's paying child support, you really can't dictate what she does on her weekends. It's kind of how it works.
I just don't think that's a safe environment for a 3-year-old to be in.
It may not be, but until something actually happens, you can't dictate that. You wanted child support, you gave rights. You pretty much gave birth to a visitation rights. You understand?
Yeah.
And child support and custody are completely different. So that doesn't mean at any point, if she stops paying, that you can start denying her access to the child. It doesn't work like that.
Okay.
You all understand? Okay, anything further?
No, ma'am.
Anything further from you? Okay, if there's nothing further, you
Now, the law takes control. The judge wastes no time. Child support is ordered on the spot. The numbers are laid out, and the mother is officially responsible for paying $494.92 every month. But that's not all. Since the child is on Medicaid, she also has to reimburse the state an extra $288 per month. Total monthly payment, $782.92. The mother's expression says it all. She thought she could talk her way out of this, but instead, she's walking out with a legal obligation she can't ignore. The judge doesn't sugarcoat it. Parenting is a full-time commitment, not something you can pick up and drop when it's convenient. She can keep going to music festivals, but now her first priority will be making those payments. And that's how the law works. Custody equals responsibility. Whoever has custody gets child support. No exceptions. This case makes one thing crystal clear. Making money isn't the issue. choosing not to prioritize your child is. The judge didn't care about her excuses, her lifestyle, or how she spent her paycheck. The only thing that mattered was who's been taking care of the child and who hasn't. She walked into court trying to avoid paying. She walked out with a bill, because parenting isn't part-time, and now the law is making sure she pays her fair share.